Ever beat a massive role-playing video game only to realize you finished the final boss fight with an inventory full of ultra-rare, untouched potions? We hoard the best items, waiting for the absolute perfect moment to use them. We do the exact same thing with our actual lives, pushing off a career shift or a long-term goal until our financial conditions are completely flawless. There is a glaring logical flaw in waiting for tomorrow to start your life. The exact same obstacles you are using as an excuse today, a lack of energy, the fear of failing, are going to be waiting for you the next morning. Tomorrow is an illusion we use to avoid taking action right now. To understand why we do this, imagine sitting in a sterile, windowless doctor's office. You know the environment: humming fluorescent lights and incredibly stiff chairs. Only in this specific waiting room, there is no receptionist, no clock on the wall, and just a single handleless closed door. Here's the catch. You are waiting for your name, but you have absolutely no idea when that door is going to open. It might be in 50 years, or it could swing wide before I finish this sentence. Faced with that terrifying unpredictability, most of us will do absolutely anything to distract ourselves. We'll flip through outdated magazines, complain about the terrible furniture, and scroll endlessly on our phones. Anything to avoid looking directly at the door. Procrastination functions as a desperate distraction technique, a way to bury the reality of that door under a pile of busy work and outdated magazines. We postpone our lives to avoid the uncomfortable reality of our own inevitable, totally unpredictable end. The Indian mystic Osho theorized that our relationship with that waiting room door dictates the entire quality of our lives. He observed a hard psychological dividing line separating humanity into two distinct groups based on how they process that fear. Look at the left side of this timeline. Here are the postponers. They live under the passive illusion that time is an unlimited resource. Since the brain cannot process the uncertainty of death, it forcefully shrinks the problem, delegating it to the subconscious. This repressed dread bubbles up in highly specific, toxic ways. Take the office micromanager. Because they cannot control the ultimate terrifying variable of death, their subconscious desperately tries to manufacture a tiny universe where they do have authority. Obsessively controlling a spreadsheet gives them a brief, artificial illusion of immortality and safety. Procrastination operates on the exact same coping mechanism. By refusing to ever start writing a novel or launching a business, the unstarted project becomes a safe harbor. If you never take the first step, time never seems to pass, and you never have to test yourself against reality. Underneath the surface, the manipulative control freak and the chronically paralyzed artist are fighting the exact same disease. They are both subconsciously terrified of running out of time. Across the dividing line sits the second group, the awakeners. These individuals look directly at the waiting room door. They are hyper-aware of its unpredictable timing and their own vulnerability. You might think looking at the door constantly would cause paralyzing dread, but scarcity creates value. Because they truly understand their time is finite, every single Tuesday becomes incredibly precious. Viewing life through the lens of mortality forces them to take immediate action. Because postponers assume time is infinite, they lack the urgency to solve their own problems or make difficult choices. This passivity creates a secondary dysfunction, emotional and existential dependence. When reality finally demands a decision, the postponer, unprepared and paralyzed, delegates their care to the awakeners. They lean on those who have acknowledged the door to navigate life's complexities for them, effectively outsourcing the emotional labor of survival. Choosing to live consciously means facing a new danger. By recognizing the value of your finite time, you often end up having your energy siphoned away by the dependents who refuse to carry their own weight. To protect against this burnout, we have to look at the physical reality of an ancient Spartan war cry, Aton Aapitas, come back with your shield or upon it. A Spartan shield weighed nearly 20 pounds. It was a grueling, constant physical burden that required immense focus to carry. In this philosophical framework, the shield is the awareness of your own mortality. Like the bronze, this awareness is heavy and uncomfortable to hold. It is much easier to drop the shield and live in the postponer's denial, but doing so leaves you vulnerable and dependent on others to carry you. Returning with your shield means choosing to carry that heavy reality yourself. This intentional effort is what secures your agency. By accepting that your time is finite and your reality is heavy, you stop being a passive passenger and regain the power to act. Now, taking action today doesn't mean blowing your entire paycheck on a Tuesday because you might be gone on Wednesday. Reckless hedonism is actually just another form of denial, driven by a panicked terror of tomorrow. You still pay your rent, but you stop dreading your job. The healthy sweet spot is found in another Greek concept, to oso. It translates to just enough, or in moderation. It is the psychological middle ground between trying to conquer the world and collapsing into doomed nihilism. Think of it like the safety briefing on an airplane. By picking up the shield and accepting your own mortality, you put your own oxygen mask on first. You secure your own psychological grounding before you attempt to help anyone sitting next to you. From there, you help the dependents, but only to oso, only in proportion to your actual capabilities. You officially untie your self-worth from the impossible task of saving everyone else. Ask yourself right now, what is the single biggest obstacle you are using as an excuse to avoid starting today? If your tomorrow suddenly wasn't guaranteed, how would you handle that obstacle right now? You are sitting in the waiting room. It is time to pick up your shield.